Well, hey, hi, hello. What do you know? Almost missed 11:11 time. I believe it's 11:12 or so. That's all right. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to a brief edition of Stretching and Strengthening with me. I'm Angel. As usual, just here to keep myself accountable to myself, with myself, by myself, for myself. And I invite you to join me to whatever degree you feel like it, if you feel like it, if it feels good in your body. I was just daydreaming about how much we humans lie to ourselves, thinking we're doing things because it's the right thing or it's gonna bring us a different thing. And really, if we just spent more time following what feels good in our body, and I'm not talking about that kind of fluffy marshmallow instant gratification kind of feel good, but that real deep down good, you know what you know kind of good feeling. Let's welcome more of that, shall we? That's what I'm doing today. Yeah. And at the same time, I will bring my attention into the bottoms of my feet, root myself into the center of the earth, hang my spine from the center of the sky, do a little more arm swinging, a little more letting go of stress. I'm going to try a swan dive down with a relatively flat back. It's coming down past the waist to the hips. Checking on the floor here. Notice I have not tied my boots yet. That's all right. I'm going to roll up. I got my painting clothes on today because I'm going to go do some painting. Let's do some big arm circles. Feels about right. Can breathe in on the way up. And out on the way down. I like to do the in through the nose when I can, and exhale through the mouth, and breathing in and letting go. Let's do that the other way, big circles. Do a little shaking that out. Let's do some medium circles with the shoulders. Breathing in on the way up again. You can breathe in and tense up, and then just release all that. And again, breathing in, tensing up. Just letting go. One more time. Breathing in, tensing up, and then just letting that go. Let's do some little circles with the hands on the wrists. Still just exploring little, medium, and big circles, checking in with all the bones and the muscles and the energies and the breath. Check in with the smile. Still got a lot of puffiness and stuff in the way around here, but that's okay. I can still breathe. Grateful for that. Bring my attention again into the bottoms of my feet and do another swan dive down from the hips. Coming on down past the waist. Wiggle these feet around. Wiggle this stretchy shirt around. Just give that spine a couple of breaths to unwind. Relaxing through the belly. Just kind of letting gravity do the unwinding. And then I'm going to pull up from the waist, so above the hips, pulling abdomen, up in the pelvic floor, left elbow over right, pulling these shoulder blades apart, giving myself a nice little squeeze and hug, rounding the spine, tuck the chin, and then releasing all that again from the hips. Just letting go of the head and neck, letting go of the belly, letting go of the legs. Still using them to hold myself up though. Let's do another self-hug this time. Right elbow over left, pulling those shoulder blades apart, giving a nice squeeze through the shoulders, pulling up in the pelvic floor, back in the abdomen, tucking the chin for a nice rounded spine. Give a nice additional squeeze, and then release all that again from the hips. Just hanging from the hip bones, letting the belly relax, letting the back relax, letting the arms and head relax. I'm going to bend the knees, swing the arms back, coming into a bit of a counter stretch, pushing those hips forward, gazing up with the eyes past the fingertips, and coming back to neutral, central. Let's wiggle, jiggle, shake it off to the left, shake it off to the right. I think wiggle, jiggle, shaking it off is a underrated, underappreciated, underpracticed endeavor lately. That's how I feel about it today anyway. Let's do a little hip sway to the right and the left. Just taking weight off the left, pushing into the right. Weight off the right, pushing into the left, pushing into the right, pushing into the left. I'm going to plant both feet under the shoulders, hips, feet, and then slide the pelvis to the left, trying to keep these hip bones relatively parallel to the floor as opposed to dipping like I was just doing. Kind of stretches the abdomen and the back a little bit instead of the hips so much. Let's go again, sliding to the left, sliding to the right, sliding to the left, and sliding to the right. I'm going to bring these feet out into a wider stance, a straddle position, and dip those hips, changing that stretch now into the inner thigh, dipping on the right, dipping on the left, kind of pushing into this opposite hip, but more than that, dipping on the slow side, really feeling that stretch through the inner thigh. And then walking these feet back under the hips and shoulders. Let's do some slides again. Sliding to the right, can sometimes pull that hip down at the end of that slide, sliding to the left, sliding to the right, and sliding to the left. One more time, to the right, and to the left. Shake that out some more. I'm going to step back with this left foot into a moderate lunge. In my unstretchy jeans is a nice time to remind you, you don't need any special outfit or any special moves or any special area to give yourself a little loving attention. I encourage you to come up with a routine, in fact, that can be done with just your own body, anytime, anywhere, maybe more than one routine. It's kind of a lifetime endeavor for me. Looking for a perpendicular hip sensation to my parallel feet sensation, pressing that back heel down, checking that I'm not crunching past the toes with this front knee. Let's bring arms up overhead, making sure not to crunch up in those shoulders. Tipping the tailbone under a little bit, pulling up in the abdomen and the spine. And then I'm going to shift this heel forward, opening the hips now. Looking for the side plane here, as opposed to that front plane I was just facing. Facing the side plane, checking in with the alignment on both arms, and then sliding this back heel out, bending from the hips, coming into a side aeroplane pose, as I like to call it. Gazing up past the left fingertips. Feeling a nice gentle twist through the torso. Remembering to breathe and smile. Hi Kenny, hi Paul, good to see ya. Coming down onto the diagonal with that upper arm. Just feeling for a diagonal line sensation out the heel, out the fingertips. Still pushing into my unstretchy jeans here. I'm going to bring this hand down on the inside of the right foot for a nice deep lunge. I'm shifted onto the back toes of the left foot and bringing weight onto the hands. Bringing that front leg back to meet the back foot. And my hands are very slippery today. I don't know if I can get a push back or not. I gotta slide those hands forward a little bit. To get into that, I'm gonna push into those heels, tipping the tailbone, if possible, toward the back of the head. And then I'm gonna shift the body forward, lifting the chest through the shoulders, squeezing the legs together, letting the belly just drop. And pushing back again into the pelvis, into the heels, and then sliding this left foot forward. I say sliding, I mean hoisting. That is one of the downfalls of unstretchy pants. It's alright though, can deal with it. I give a little bounce in this deeper lunge and then step forward with this back foot into a forward fold, just hanging here, letting the back release, letting the belly release, letting the spine unwind. And then let's roll up nice and slow, stacking one vertebra on the next. Just checking in with that spine. Roll that out, shake it off, and then step back with the right foot. Again, pulling that back hip forward, forward hip back, tipping the tailbone under, looking for a relatively straight line through the abdomen and the spine, pressing that back heel toward the floor, checking that this front knee is not crunching past the toes, looking for a perpendicular line in the hips, and bringing these arms up overhead. Remembering to breathe and smile. Got a little wintertime congestion creeping up on me today. I think that's because I ate cereal yesterday. When am I going to learn? Cereal is not my friend, even though it does taste good. I'm going to shift this back heel forward. Looking for the side plane now, opening the hips. Checking on the alignment of both arms. Sliding this back heel out a little bit and bending from the hips into a side twisting aeroplane. I'm using that left arm and left leg against each other for torque and support, making sure not to collapse on that side, and raising the right arm, gazing up past those right fingertips. Imagining myself an aeroplane in the sky. And then I'll bring this arm down onto the diagonal, pushing out through the heel, through the spine, through the fingertips, and then bringing this arm. Actually going to lick my hands. That's a special move. I don't necessarily recommend you try, but sometimes it keeps my hands from sliding. I'm going to come onto those back toes for a nice deep lunge here, and then bring weight on the hands. Bring this front leg back to meet the back leg, and pushing into the heels. I'm going to bend the right knee, pushing into the left. Bend the left knee, pushing into the right. And again, pushing into the left. And pushing into the right. And pushing into both heels. Tipping the tailbone under. And then swinging the body forward. Lifting the chest through the shoulders, bringing the legs together, letting the belly just drop. Making sure not to collapse in those shoulders. Bring the eyes up. stretch and silly noise if you feel so inclined. Another underappreciated move there. I'm going to lift the hips, pressing back again through those palms, through the spine, into the heels, tipping the tailbone toward the back of the head, getting a nice stretch up the backs of the legs, and then swinging this right leg forward, again with those unstretchy jeans, into a nice deep lunge. Give that a nice little bounce before I step forward with the back foot one more time. Just hanging here in a forward fold again. Letting the spine unwind. Let's come over to the left for a little gentle twist. And over to the right, using hands on legs for a little torque. Let's turn that into more of a twist. Raising the left hand behind. Just feeling a nice little squeeze through the internal organs there. Coming back to center and using left hand on right foot for torque. Raising the right hand up behind me. Again for a nice little twisting fold. Back to central. And again, I'm going to bend my knees, swing my arms back, coming into a nice counter stretch, pushing the hips forward, raising the eyes, raising the hands, and coming back to neutral, centered, center. I'm going to bring the arms behind back, rolling the shoulder blades towards each other, rolling elbows towards each other, pressing palms together. I like to point those fingers toward the ground and kind of use them to pull the shoulders down, getting a nice counter stretch through the front of the body, and then back to standing, and then I'm going to fold from the hips, bring the hands with me this time. For a nice stretch through the shoulders, through the chest. Still trying to relax through the belly. Give a nice back massage with those shoulder blades. Still pulling together. Actively stretching, using the muscles to pull. And then let's passively stretch, keeping hands clasped. Just relaxing the arms and letting gravity do the stretching. No muscles pulling. And then again, for contrast, using the muscles to actively stretch, pulling shoulder blades together, pulling elbows together, pressing palms, really stretching those shoulders and chest, and then again, relaxing, letting gravity do the unwinding. One more time, actively pulling shoulder blades together, pulling elbows together, pressing palms, using the muscles to really stretch one another, stretching the chest, stretching the shoulders, and then passively stretching, letting gravity do the work and just relaxing those muscles. And let the elbows fall away from each other, keeping hands clasped, bringing the hands down to check in with the low back. Let's give a quick body check. Checking in with the hamstring attachments on the butt and the hamstrings, back of the legs. Checking in with the backs of the knees, still trying to relax through the belly. Checking in with the backs of the calves. Checking in with the backs of the ankles. Really relaxing the belly, relaxing the back. Coming around front, checking in with the toes. Hey toes. Checking in with the fronts of the ankles. Give just a little percussive check there through my boots. Checking with the fronts of the shins, fronts of the knees. I'm going to roll up as I check in with the fronts of the thighs. Check in with the pelvis. Check in with all these tender organs in here. Coming all the way up. Check in with the chest. Check in with the arms. Just a nice little smoothing check. Bring the whole body together. Smooth the face and the hair. Just let go of stresses and tension. Releasing all of that back to the universe. I got lots of puffy tension in me today, and that's okay. My body's doing what it needs to do. Just do a little free arms swinging. You can add some knee bouncing. Just letting go of stress. You can gather it up and then gather it up. Breathing in, gathering it up, and then one more time. Breathe in, gather the stress, and then just let it go. You can pick it back up later. There's more on the way. You really don't need to hang on to all the stresses of yesterday. You can let that go like it was yesterday. Let's do just a little balancing. I'm going to bring my weight onto the right leg. Bring the left knee up toward the left shoulder. Try not to fall over. Here we go. Let's do a little ankle rotating while we're here. For good measure. I'm going to bring that down. Bring weight onto the left. Bring this right knee up toward right shoulder. Try to relax the shoulders. Try to tip the tailbone under. Try to relax that supporting foot. And do a little ankle rotating on this side. And the other way. Set that down. Still do not got my clap snaps. So keep them nice and slow and mellow on this Tuesday. It's a productive Tuesday for me. I hope it's whatever kind of Tuesday for you that you want to make it be. I hope you're remembering to love yourself. Breathe and smile, or frown and hold your breath. Whatever you choose to do. It's all right with me. You're driving. I thank you for stopping by. Mike, Kenny, it's good to see you. Whatever else you're into, I do hope that you're being kind and loving to you. And your body, because your body's the one thing you can't live without. Give it a little love, give it a little playful movement, and I'll be seeing you. Peace.